Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back to the back of the back of the grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh. It's Drunk Nerds podcast. Grab a six pack, sit back and prepare to laugh.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 192 of the Drunk Nerds podcast. I'm your host, as always. I am Tyler, sober-ish this time, and joining me, we have, returning for the second week in a row, we have Troy. What's up, buddy? How are you doing?
What's the business? Yeah, you sound a little more coherent this time.
Yeah. Justin brought me over a ice mocha coffee thing, and it was pretty good. I'm a little more awake now, so.
Now you're gonna get a wired.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trapped between the alcohol and the coffee right now. My heart doesn't know what to do.
Let's mix them. So how you been, man?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I've been great. Just school and everything else, man. I was actually at a group meeting today, and they were one of my teammates on this group project that I'm working on. It's basically a semester-long group project. We're basically creating a business, from scratch. Cool. But she's like, I can't imagine, taking 4 classes. She's taking 2 classes. She's like, I can't imagine taking 4 classes and then, working and everything else. And I was like, yeah, it's one of those things where it's almost like I feel like there's a tidal wave coming, and it's just a matter of like when it's going to hit and whether or not I can weather that storm. Like, I've literally got like 4 months until graduation, and I just got to survive this semester. But there's like so much stuff, and I don't know, like it feels like as things come, like assignments and everything like that, and it keeps building and building and building, and I hope it doesn't get overwhelming. Yeah, but we'll see.
Just hold with one arm a telephone pole and Wilson in the other, and I think it'd be okay.
Yep.
That's what I do in life. But also, if you haven't noticed, we have the Colonel, Gables, all the way out in Washington. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I'm just doing all right. Just got done with another hard-fought work week. Got done with my taxes, so fuck.
Yay!
That's always good. Well, it's good as long as you're getting money back.
Yeah, I'm getting plenty of money back, so I'm happy about that. Actually got my biggest amount that I've ever gotten back, because this is pretty much my first time in my 10 or 11 year, work experience and stuff, where I'm actually getting a sizable income tax thing back since I'm working full-time and stuff. Because previously, before, I was working only part-time, doing some schooling here and there, but yeah, anyway, it's been kind of an interesting week, to say the least, of not only with just workplace stuff with people being sick, doing this and doing that, but also because of my gaming habits have been sort of it's been somewhat hit and miss in terms of spots. But what I have been able to do is play little bits and pieces of games on my 3DS and my Wii U. As a matter of fact, I actually played plenty of games on my Wii U today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Swan song for the Wii U.
I was actually just thinking, on my way home from my group project meeting, that I need to sit down and play some Mario Maker again soon. It's been a while.
Same with me.
A long time for me too.
It's just that type of weird time and stuff for me, where it just feels like, since I've owned the Wii U, that I've played some of the best games on the device. But at the same point, it's I look at the eShop, I look at the stuff that's readily available and stuff, and I've come to the realization where it's the system, even though it's been out since 2012, it just feels like that I'm almost done just finding games for it. It's really a weird experience. It's not like what I had with the PS3, which eventually got burnt out of and got rid of. It's almost like a polar opposite. I want more games for this device, but it's fuck. It's
just not there.
It's just not there for my interest anymore.
I gave up 2 years ago.
I know.
Yeah. Mario Maker was that was it. And before that,
Well,
you can say there was...
Not like just Mario Maker, but Pokken Tournament was last year. Plus, their swan song is going to be Hyrule. Not Hyrule Warriors. I mean, like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be like I said.
I picked up...
go ahead.
I was going to say, I picked up all the major games, and maybe the only... Okay, there's actually 2 games left that I think I might pick up is the... Xenoblade Chronicles X and Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Those are the 2 games that are left on the Wii U that I want to pick up. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I picked up all the major games, the Smashes and the Mario Karts and the Splatoons and all that stuff. And I'm getting the Switch, so that's where I'll get Breath of the Wild. But there's still a couple games that I just don't own yet that I intend to play on the Wii U.
Get Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. You'd be much happier.
I was going to say, that's my one regret. I have that digitally. I want a physical copy of that game so bad.
You get one for like $20 now, can't you?
I may get a physical copy of Pikmin 3 because I have it digitally as well because of the whole free thing for Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of like what Troy was saying and stuff like that, I kind of feel like I want to get Tokyo Mirage Sessions and stuff like that, and maybe if I find a good price, Paper Mario Color Splash, because, why the fuck not? Plus, it's like, if I'm really going to go ahead and just get a couple more physical games for that device and stuff, that's pretty much what I got out there.
Yeah, not a lot of options.
Because I got Bayonetta. I got Bayonetta 2 and everything. I got Xenoblade Chronicles X. I got all the mainline Mario games, including the New Super Mario, like Brothers U and the whole Luigi, like just expansion stuff. The Smash, the this, the that. It's... Man... it just makes me feel kind of happy that I got all these great games, but yeah. Well, anyway, that's enough about me. How have you been, Tyler?
I'm doing all right. It's been a very long week, I think, for all of us. But joining us for the first time ever under the Drunk Dash Nerds umbrella, and also for the first time in about a month.
It's been a while.
Yeah, Juzzy. Juzzy's here. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing much better now. Seems like most people. I think the last week has been kind of crazy.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me like on Monday or Tuesday, like, whoa, I'm hopeful but very concerned. My daughter was in the hospital with like RSV. Then she eventually developed pneumonia, and she's like 4 months old. So that was crazy. She's at home now, so
yeah,
I feel so much better about that now. And,
hopefully she gets well soon. That sucks.
Thank you. Yeah, she seems to be every day just looking better, smiling. She wants to walk.
Yeah.
Already?
Her legs aren't ready yet. She wants to.
Wow.
In her head.
Well, unless Tyler can come up with something better, I think you win for the crappiest week.
That's very true.
Yeah, we were actually at a birthday party, and we were like, everybody was having a bad week, and I'm just like, I got my first speeding ticket this week. That was my claim to shitty weakness.
Well, good on you for going this long without getting one.
Yeah, I was going 50 to 35.
I'm just glad it wasn't
you
25.
We're underneath the speed limit.
Yeah. So
it's
like
he was
my
nice. Fucking grandpa, dude.
he was nice enough to knock it down to a 45. So.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. So I think I might have the best week.
Yeah, I got a speeding ticket on my birthday one year.
Oh, shit.
I had to commute between 2 cities, and I was trying to get home before my daughter went to bed, and I got stopped by the cop, and he asked me why I was speeding. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get home before my daughter goes to bed. It's my birthday, and I'd like to see my daughter. And he's like, oh, okay, and he gave me the ticket.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, you dick.
What a prick.
He's like, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
My birthday.
But then I've also gotten away with some really crazy shit. Like, I've gotten caught, like, street racing before and walked away with a warning. So, I mean, I've had plenty of opportunities to take advantage, I guess, of my white privilege. But, yeah. I got a warning one time, and it was a written warning, so, it's a ticket. They write it out, but, it's like, oh, this doesn't count. You don't got to go to court or whatever. Don't have to pay a fine. I get home and I read the ticket, and it says, Mr. Starrett was observed eastbound on 2nd Street. He was passing the normal flow of traffic and still accelerating. And I was like, holy shit. I was all, with that wording, I would have given myself a ticket, but it was just a warning.
I didn't know they
Nice.
actually give you
Wow.
written warnings. That's funny. Huh. Wow. Well then, since we're all here, I actually want to do something real quick. It's a little late. It's February, I know. This is something we do every year, Troy. That we do like the first show of every year, the first couple shows every year. We do our own personal top 10 games of the previous year. And then usually the first show back, I combine all of our games together. I add up the points. So if you were a number 10, you get 1 point. Number 1, you get 10 points, and so on. Everything in between there. So I've keep forgetting to do this. I've had the book here for a month, and I keep forgetting to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through the numbers real quick.
Cool.
So we've there's actually a 3-way tie for number 8. The 8 spot. So 10, 9, 8 were all a 3-way tie. So real quick, those were battle with 7 points each. Battlefield 1, Fire Emblem, and Hyper Light Drifter. All 3 of those games, I think, were Battlefield 1 was actually on Justin and Gables' list. Fire Emblem and Hyper Light Drifter were I think number 4 on Gabe's and I list. So I had Hyper Light Drifter at number 4. He had Fire Emblem at number 4.
Nice.
So that's why they're that high. Number 7 with 8 points was Pokemon Sun and Moon. That's because Gabe had it at number 3 in his list. Number 6, which pisses me off, with 9 points, is Unravel. So Justin had it at number 2.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Number 5 with 10 points was The Witness, and that's because Justin actually had it at number 1 in his list. Number 4 with 14 points was Titanfall 2, and that was on Justin and I's list. And then number 3 with 16 points was Last Guardian, too low on this list if you ask me. And that was also on Justin and I's list. That was my number 1 game of the year, by the way. And number 2 was Doom with 23 points. And that was actually on all 3 of our lists. I think that was actually Gabe's number 2, my number 5, and Justin's number 3. And then number 1 with 25 points was Uncharted 4, which was on all 3 of our lists as well. So
Nice.
yeah. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's kind of fun to go through every year and just kind of. It's not an exact list because I think like 4 of the games that are in our top 10, only one person added on the list, but they set it super high. Unravel is that's a bullshit. I want to recount.
Anytime, anywhere.
It's a bad game, Justin. But yeah,
Amazing.
those are I guess technically the Gen Gaming / Drunk Dash Nerds 2016 Game of the Year goes to Uncharted 4 for as a whole.
Cool.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
Uncharted 4.
Well,
That's also
that
the
was my-
highest critically acclaimed game from 2016, with the highest Metacritic score of 93 over 100.
nice. They're actually gonna when they do like a Player's Choice edition of Uncharted 4, they're gonna actually put on the back of the box. I already talked to them. Drunk Dash Nerds 2016 Game of the Year.
That's awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, so
It's the Game of the Year edition.
That was
Yeah.
actually the first. I'm not even a fan of Uncharted.
yeah, you
And that
didn't
game
like,
was just awesome.
yeah.
Like I don't know, just hit me.
Yeah, I
The
really
story
enjoyed
and
that game.
everything.
That was a good one.
The brother story and just I don't know, it was special.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Not as special as Last Guardian.
It came together like quite a cohesive package, like with everything from not only just the stellar gameplay of it, but also because of the cinematic experience, like that tied together not only the story of, Nathan and his brother, but also it just was a great wind up for the entire like Uncharted trilogy that was on the PS3 and stuff. And honestly, I feel like the Uncharted 4 deserves a lot of the praise that it gets through critical acclaim and a lot of the stuff in the Metacritic stuff as well. It's just the game is like one of those type of experiences where you experience it once and stuff, you'll never forget it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was one of my number 1 favorites for last year.
Yeah, definitely.
Totally.
But moving on to some more of the. Let's actually talk about some games now. See, in fact, we are primarily a video game podcast.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, I guess
Ah.
it's fine. But let's start with Troy. Tell us what you've been playing this past week, unless you want to, or do you want to tell us what you've been playing the last like 36 years?
No, well, no, I can't think of anything new. to add to the 36 years. I guess those will come up as I think of them. But over the past week, I did beat Final Fantasy 1. I believe it was Monday. I feel like it was Monday. I don't know, man. My week, it's all crazy. I did end up beating that game. That was enjoyable. I enjoyed that experience. Yeah, it was my first ever Final Fantasy game, finishing it, and I look forward to playing through the rest of them. I keep hearing little blurbs here and there about all the different Final Fantasy games, and so that's something I look forward to. I didn't jump into another Final Fantasy game, though. I'm currently on my Twitch streams playing through Shadow Complex Remastered, which is the chair... some Metroidvania game, basically.
Yes.
I'm really enjoying it. It's been a pretty fun experience. I haven't played very many of the genre, and I definitely hadn't played that game. I think it's really funny. I think the main character's name is Jake or something like that. But he's also voiced by
Nathan Fillion.
Is it Nathan Fillion?
I think
no, not Nathan Fillion.
No.
It's
I think it's. Oh my gosh! It's the one dude.
I feel like such an idiot.
Nolan North.
No, it's Nolan. Yes, dude, I feel like such an idiot for not knowing that.
I
off
don't
the
know
top
why.
of my
We could
head.
neither of us could think of it.
Who is it?
So yeah, he's totally.
I think I just had like.
He's totally
flashbacks
voiced
of,
by
like, Firefly or
Nolan
something.
North, and it's funny because the whole time, like his girlfriend is like, in the game, and she's like, "Oh, Jake, blah blah." I was like, "Why do you keep calling him Jake? That's Nathan. Why do you keep calling Nathan Jake?" And it was really funny, but no, it's a really decent game. I'm really enjoying it. I was kind of concerned because it's like, how Metroidvanias work, where it's like, oh, well, there's certain areas here on this map that you can't get to yet because you haven't unlocked the thing that'll give you access to that. So I was like, man, I got to a point where it's like, okay, well, now I've got this thing that will allow me access to all these other things, but should I backtrack to try and get back to where those were? But the story is actually, and I decided not to do that just for the sake of the stream, because it's like, well, I don't need the 4 people who are watching me want to sit there and watch me run back, through the map to try and, get a few extra unlocks or whatever from these areas. So I just, carried on through the story. But the cool thing about it is the story kind of looped me back around to the areas where those things were at. So it was almost like a natural progression to be able to get access to those areas that I couldn't get before while still following the story beats. So I really appreciated
They
that.
did a good job.
Yeah,
It's like Super Metroid was like that too.
They
You
create-
didn't feel like you were ever like doing anything out of the way.
yeah. The map feels pretty big, but once like you get those power ups, it's like it creates a bunch of shortcuts for you and everything. Especially when like you get like the ability to run super fast, and like there's actually pieces of armor in that game you can, and like upgrades you completely miss, which is crazy. I mean, that's a great game.
I'm enjoying it.
That was like one of the first big Xbox Live Arcade games. That was kind of like the
Yeah, it was in the
Like
same
around the time of
loophole as like
Limbo.
other things like
Right.
Limbo, Castle Crashers, stuff like that.
yeah. I think it came out that same summer. It was like the first summer of arcade thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I missed out on it because I didn't have an Xbox 360, and I do have an Xbox One, but I'm playing the PC version because when they decided to put out the remastered version of Shadow Complex, they were giving it away free on PC as long as you downloaded and installed the Epic Games launcher. So I did that, and so I got it free, and I think it's worth every penny that I spent on it. No, it's a really good game. I really am enjoying it. Other than that, I think I fired up my 3DS to play through a little bit more of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney game that I'm playing, but I'm literally like still in the middle of the same case that I was in before, so like I haven't made any real meaningful progress. It's just been a busy week with school and everything like that. But
Like which case?
that's kind of why
Which
Oh,
case? I'm sorry. What case would you be on? Like the first case, second?
this is the third case. I don't know how familiar you are, but it's the movie star guy, the action star who's accused of murdering
the
his
samurai.
co-star.
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, you're going to be in for an interesting turn of events in that one.
I am I'm at the point where like we've adjourned a couple times, and I think now like the investigation is leaning towards like there's a little kid that is sneaking onto the stuff and everything like that. I think I'm about to go into the courtroom again for the second or third time. But I'm really enjoying it, but I just haven't had a whole lot of time to commit to that. But which I guess is a good thing. It's a mobile game or a portable game. It's kind of designed to be played in small chunks. But I'm really enjoying it. It's good stuff.
Cool.
I know, that's what I really enjoyed, too, about the Phoenix Wright games, too. It's like, even though they're, like, long core cases that could possibly go and last you maybe, like, about an hour and a half and stuff for some specific cases, in the middle of, like, that, you can always choose just, like, to save a spot where you're at and stuff, and then just continue back to it later and stuff.
That's
It's
cool.
Yeah, and
That's
it seems
helpful.
like in the larger cases, it has a natural breaking point where it's like, okay, well, we're going to adjourn for the day. And it's like, okay, now you can save and maybe just, walk away and pick it back up later here. That way you don't, like, miss anything. It's pretty well built, and it's really good. I like a lot of the humor and stuff. It's just a really good game.
Well, very nice.
But that's it.
All right, cool.
Always seemed interesting to me. I've never played one before.
I played the first one, and it was just not my kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I can recognize, like, that's a...
They're text-based, sort of like story type of games and stuff like that, where...
Yeah, like a visual novel.
It's a
type
visual
thing.
novel, yes. Yes. To where you go through, you can read, like, a bunch of things and stuff like that, but you do a bunch of investigating and stuff. It's kind of
That's
like...
the part that I would like, the investigation stuff.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of games like that on the DS, and even, like, some on the Vita as well, like, say, Danganronpa is sort of like that as well. But,
Yeah, I actually look forward to playing those games, too.
yeah, those are awesome, too.
You're ready too, Tyler, for those, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah.
You gonna play them in the summer,
Um,
maybe?
Well, I saw a thing saying March 14th was a release date, and then everywhere else I've looked, it doesn't have a release. Like, it just says March 31st is like a placement thing. So I don't know when it's coming out. I hope I'd be fine with summer. I hope it's not March 14th because there's no fucking way I'm playing that March 14th. But yeah, I am definitely excited for those games ever since Gables sold me on it like 3 years ago. We get like there's like 4 or 5 coming out this year. Like, I think 3 or 4 of them were already on Vita. I think the first 2, and there's like another one. And then there's one coming to Vita, a new one, and then there's the third one coming to Vita and PS4 this year.
Wow.
Late
Yeah,
in the year.
that's just the thing. It's kind of strange about Danganronpa. The first 2 games came out on the Vita, and then there's supposed to be like this specific type of movie or something like that aired in Japan that's supposed to be like continuation from those 2, and then you have like, I think it's like another Despair. It's like a spin-off game or something involving some of the main characters or something like that. Then you have like Danganronpa 3. It's supposed to be on Vita and PS4 as well. It's really weird.
Yeah, but I'm definitely excited for those games. Just the bear thing sounds kind of cool. But Justin, you've been playing a lot of games. Tell us what you've been playing basically since Christmas.
I've been playing so much stuff, I've probably forgotten half of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do my best.
Okay. What do we have a list for?
Okay. I'm gonna try to start from like the oldest stuff to the most recent stuff.
Okay.
Go in that order. Let's see. Oh, as you guys know, I was playing Paper Mario Color Splash. I finally beat that game,
Oh, you did?
and I really enjoyed it. There was definitely some stuff in there that's like, why, like some like unnecessary like. There's one part in specific, not to spoil anything, like where you have to like backtrack, and honestly, I don't know how anyone would know how you would actually do it unless like you look something up.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of text in this game, and it's like really good, like writing and stuff. But I wouldn't have known what to use at this one spot or where to get it. It was like in some weird oddball place. Like, it was like, what? I don't know. It didn't flow with it that good.
Yeah.
But like after I got beat that part, got to the end boss and everything, and like it was kind of a cool surprise. Actually, how you get to like the last area, it's kind of funny, actually. But yeah, like I beat the game, and overall I was like, dude, like this game is awesome. Like minus like a few bullshit things. Like it's kind of a shame that those things were even in there. Like it doesn't, and even like if it was to add time onto it, it only added like 10 minutes onto it. So I don't understand why they were there. Like it's kind of odd. But overall, like it was fucking cool. The last boss was really fun and actually pretty challenging.
Is it Meowser?
I can't tell you.
If it is, blink twice. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not playing that game then.
He just
Oh,
blinked
yeah.
4 times. I don't understand.
He basically did.
Yeah, fine.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I beat that game. Then I actually got around to playing Batman Arkham VR.
Nice.
My brother got it for me for
Oh.
Christmas, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with that game. Or it's like hour and a half to 2 hours long experience basically.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Like you start out like in the back cave and stuff, and there's at first it's like, oh, this is it, but there actually ends up being kind of like a little minor story to it, and it's actually pretty fun. It looks good. I didn't get sick, which is a big plus, because I've definitely gotten sick in the PlayStation VR, and
oh my
I didn't
God.
get sick at all. And it was like I beat it. Like that was up there. It probably is my favorite one overall. Like actual game I played in there. Like that was really cool. Then like the next smaller thing, which is actually another one of my favorite games I've played in there. Like it was really short though. It was like probably 25 minutes long, half hour at the most to beat it. And that was the free. I think it was free. X-Wing VR.
You're just gonna own Battlefront, don't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's all it is. That was surprisingly fucking awesome. It was like virtual reality, like Star Fox. Like you're in the cockpit, flying through asteroids, shooting stuff. It's basically like, you know how you actually like sky battle in the game, but like it's more like on a track like Star Fox. You're going through like the asteroid belt, and then you actually come upon, and you're like, you know, you're taking out a couple TIE fighters here and there. There's all kinds of talking between you because like you're in a squad, you know.
Yeah, it was Slippy.
It was Slippy, and R2D2 was
Porkins.
there. Oh, it's cool. You turn your head around, it's like holy crap. Like you have to, like the first thing I did is turn my head around and see one of the droid back there behind me moving around and like making noises. Like that is fucking awesome. And then you get up to eventually in the story you come across a Star Destroyer, and that was really cool. Like I was flying in between like really tight spots. You know the big balls in the back, like are on top.
Oh yeah.
They're always shooting at like to explode in the movies.
Yeah.
Like you can fly in between that and like the bridge or whatever. Like it's pretty cool. I thought like I'd explode like from some invisible wall, but no, you can fly through there. It's pretty neat. And that was really fun. I took that thing down, and I don't remember exactly how it ended, but like I just remember those like this is really cool. Like there's like buttons. You look around and there's like buttons everywhere in the cockpit. I was pushing random ones and like it actually affect what was happening. Like it like some would shoot things and like the lasers, and like some would make your like wings go together, you know, for going more high speed and like apart for like battle, like to actually fight. And then like there's one button over here way to the right. I was like a lever actually. I pulled on it and it brought out that thing from like the first Star Wars, like A New Hope, where it pops up in front of you, you know. Then Obi-Wan talks.
The reticule?
Yeah, Obi-Wan's like, you know what he says, but like that thing popped out and it's like so cool because it literally feels like it's right there. Like I could even get close to it with my head, and like it'd come and I could actually like view everything through it. But that was really neat. Like I'd pop it back in and mess around. That was actually it was pretty impressive, and I didn't get sick from that either, so that's a plus.
Like I think that's a caveat now. It's a plus in the flip.
Yeah, it really is.
The big thing about that is that in that one in particular, you're in a cockpit, so like your body is not intended to
That's
move.
true.
Yeah.
And so that makes it easier for your brain to handle that. A lot of the games that are easiest to deal with are ones where it's like they've created a reason for you to not actually be moving your body. So even if you're physically moving around, it's like, oh, you're in a mech suit or you know, something like that. So your brain doesn't expect the actual movement to be occurring. So the games that will make you sick are ones where it's like, oh, you have free roam control where you can walk around at will, but your brain is supposed to think that you're actually walking, and so there's this crazy dissonance between what your brain expects and what's actually happening, and that's usually what makes you sick.
And I was actually reading about that coming into the next game I've tried out in VR, Resident Evil 7. Well, I played like the first 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. I really want to give it a chance in there. I got so sick. Like just, oh God. Like it almost ruined my night, man. And I don't get sick from stuff like that usually. Never got sick watching like a movie or playing a video game. Like some spinny rides nowadays will make me sick. They never used to. But this thing just made me have a headache. Kind of feel like I wanted to barf. Just felt disoriented.
Yeah.
I was doing some research on it, like you were just talking about. Like it's like your brain thinks that you're hallucinating. And
because it's not feeling poison. The experience. Yeah.
You want to like throw up whatever you ate. It's like confused. And also though, the people that don't get motion sick, it's actually tricking their brain into think that they're actually doing it. And the people that do get sick are the ones that like they know I'm actually sitting in a chair right now.
Yeah.
And this is.
I wonder if there's like some weird
happening.
like weird correlation between like psychopathic tendencies and whether or not you're going to get sick playing VR
That
games.
would be. I would like to read about that. That'd be very interesting.
Good luck, Jess. You're not a psychopath.
Yeah. So yeah, what I thought would be the most immersive way to play Resident Evil 7 for me personally was not. I took it off after I started feeling better. I think I started like maybe 3 or 4 hours after that actually. Started playing the game normal. It's like it looked so much better. Everything about it was just like, thank God. I don't feel like I'm gonna barf like playing this game. And
I also think the horror aspects of Resident Evil 7 would be tough to deal with personally in VR, just to know that
totally.
like when you're playing on a television, it's like, oh, I can look to the left, look to the right. I'm in my living room. I'm safe and sound. But if I'm in a VR headset and I look left, I look right, I'm still in the environment.
Still there.
Fuck.
I'm unsafe no matter where I look. Yeah, no, you're right.
Oh my God, someone's car. Oh no.
You are exactly right, actually. But for some reason, just because of the experience I had, I felt way more immersed. Even though I was just looking at the TV, like I felt like I was just sucked into that world. Like it's surprising to me that they could have a game where you can choose, to either play in VR and people actually don't get sick. Really like it that way. Some of them, and also you can play it outside of VR and still have a really overall. I think this game is really good. Definitely the best Resident Evil to me since Resident Evil 4. It actually reminds me of. It has some Resident Evil 4 stuff in there, and like stuff from 1, 2, and 3 that I really love. Like, the reason I fell in love with the series, like the tension and like the difficulty and like the exploring and the what really has always stuck out to me is the atmosphere, like the lighting, what's happening outside. Is it raining? Like, flashes of lightning. It has all this stuff in it, and like also new things that like. Almost at first I was like, oh no, I don't like this kind of stuff, but actually like really works well once you actually start getting into it, and it actually literally freaked me out a few times. Like this, not like where like you're like, oh my God, I can't go to sleep, but it's like it freaks you out while you're playing the game, so like you're tense enough to actually feel like it matters what you do, like my choices actually matter, and like when I get to a certain spot where like something doesn't know where I am in this game, like I can actually feel my own heart, a relief, like it's beating, I can feel it, like that is awesome. And I felt that from the old ones, like opening a door, I don't know what's behind that door. You watch that loading screen,
Well, you felt the same way playing Resident Evil 6, but it was more like
angry.
Yeah.
Angry.
It was still dread, but it was a different kind of dread.
Exactly. What happened?
It's like,
one of my favorite franchises ever. Oh my God. Yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting lots of stuff, but overall, it's just really awesome, like fantastic. It actually took me quite a while to more. It took me like 12 hours to beat this game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people it takes like 8 hours. I actually pushed pause. I think for like long periods of time. I don't know if that counts as a.
It doesn't actually.
Ads. It doesn't.
That pause screen doesn't.
I really just wandered around, and I think it was actually one thing I really loved about it. I wandered around every room, read everything I could find. Anyways, there's actually stuff I missed.
Yeah.
I missed some stuff. I don't know where the hell that stuff is.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to play this game again, and it's cool because you don't have to play any of the other games too to enjoy this one.
Yeah.
It's just, man, like there's some things for sure, some negative things about it. Like every game, I guess, has those things. But most of it was just like, man, it feels so good to be playing Resident Evil again.
A good one.
A good one. And yeah, I recommend this game to anybody, to be honest.
Yeah.
Only one real quick game that I played. Spend just a moment on this game. Beat Box Boy.
That's a
3DS. It's the second one. There's a third one's out in Japan right now, but it's not here yet.
Is it Goodbye Box
Goodbye
Boy?
Box Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the first one, I ranted and raved about it. It's $5. It's like such a simple concept turned into such a really engaging puzzle game that actually kind of surprises you, especially after because when you beat the game, just like the first one, there is a bunch of extra worlds and stuff that will really, really challenge you.
Yeah.
And it actually switches it up so much to me that I was like, wow, why isn't this? Why did it end earlier? And this is extra stuff. It's just like Just I don't know, just have all of this in the ending. But it's pretty cool. I recommend this game. Check the first one out first. You don't have to, but yeah, $5. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Been playing it on my free time, like at work and stuff. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that's all I've been up to, game wise.
All right.
There's some stuff I'm probably forgetting, for sure.
Happens. A lot
But
going
yeah.
on. It's been a long 6 weeks. So.
But on to you guys.
Well, for me, real quick, I'm just gonna say I've had like no time to play any games at all. Things have been crazy with work, and I've been one of the sickest weeks. Sickest I've ever been in the last week or so.
Wow.
So my free time I've spent mostly in the bathroom.
It's one of the sickest weeks of being sick.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a rough week. So I played like another hour of Resident Evil since we last talked. I'm still enjoying what I played. Getting more into the combat elements of it, and I like that. But I'm too like it's like I got a gun, but I'm too scared to use bullets right now. So I'm trying to like dodge enemies, and it's not working. Justin saw me play it for like 10 minutes. I kept dying because I was more trying to dodge than actually fight, and then getting scared, and then running away, and then running backwards into an enemy and killing me. So I'm not gonna say too much more like opinion wise because I want to play a bunch more of it. Hopefully, I'll have some more time this week, and I'll try to play it when I can. I really want to play through this game because I'm enjoying it quite a bit so far.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to, back to Resident Evil 7 real quick. I forgot to say. Actually, the only
No, we're still on Resident Evil 7.
Okay, cool. The thing I forgot to say is like my biggest complaint is I just wanted more.
Oh,
Like I guess it's a good thing.
there is
Just-
more, Justin.
Yeah.
The DLC for it's come out
I already
already,
have
right?
it.
One of the
I played
DLCs?
it.
Oh, so now you want more beyond the more that they've already given you.
Like, I wasn't ready for it to end.
Yeah,
The actual just the main campaign.
it's kind of like me with
But-
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Yeah, but it's such a good length though. It's like I almost immediately want to go back and play it again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do that sometime soon.
If you
On
want-
Madhouse.
If you want more Resident Evil, there's always like Resident Evil 6 or something to play. There's plenty of.
Just like you would hate episode 1, 2, and 3. I hate 5 and 6 Resident Evil.
Episode 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So nothing new for me gaming wise, but Gables. What's up, buddy?
Well, it's like what I've been saying, though. I've been really keeping track of, like, the Wii U stuff that I've been playing. And last April, I know I've said this in the podcast before, because I, like, went through this whole spiel with my Wii U where I literally had to open it up and stuff to, like, clean out a bunch of dust and, like, redo the battery pack and stuff, because apparently I deleted that data for nothing. And as a result, I've been going back to old games and see what I can do just to play them. And I'm still playing like Sonic All-Star Racing Transformed and stuff for the Wii U. That's just a thing. I kid you not, I think I've played like about 3 hours of that game today. And it's still as fun as ever. I mean, I just can't get enough of it because I've done career mode stuff on the Vita, but I'm going through the Grand Prix. The Grand Prix.
I like the Grand Prix.
That's how I normally would have said it, like, younger, too, because I keep forgetting that it's Grand Prix. The X is silent. But
That's funny. My wife has one of her friends. She's like, oh, yeah, and she was in the Peace Corps. the Peace Corps? She's like, yeah, the Peace Corps. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's the Peace Corps. She's like, no, there's an S on the end. I was like, yeah, but I don't think you say the S. It's the Grand Prix.
Grand Prix. Sounds like a
But,
nasty movie.
the fun thing about this, like, Grand Prix and stuff is, it's sort of like how Mario Kart is when you complete the various cups and stuff like that. It unlocks a mirror mode. Yeah, I've unlocked a mirror mode inside this where I can actually play the tracks in reverse, and there's like 5 more of those cups and stuff in mirror mode. So it's like I went through the 5 cups, the original, like all the courses and stuff, and now I can actually go through and go to the 5 ones like in reverse. And that's pretty interesting in that regard and stuff. I mean, I love myself a good kart racer and stuff. Really love Mario Kart. I've dabbled a bit with say Super Mario Kart and like Mario Kart 64 and stuff, and I really enjoyed Mario Kart 8. But man, for an alternative game to like that kart racing genre, it's like Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed is a very comparable game. I mean,
I always wanted to pick it up.
oh man, it's definitely a delight, man. I'm surprised you don't even own that for the Wii U, because that is a gem. That's a hidden gem.
I'll be looking.
I was actually going to make a joke about the mirror mode, that it activates the front-facing camera on the gamepad, so you can look at yourself and ask yourself, why? Why was I playing this game?
But I will say,
just kidding.
I know.
I want them to make Resident Evil 6 now for the Wii U, so Justin can play that in that mode.
Damn it.
In the mirror mode.
I hope all Resident Evils are on the Switch someday.
Man, I could say this though. One of the weirdest moments while playing this game is unlocking Danica Patrick as a playable character, because
What?
yeah, at the time she was like a spokesperson for like GoDaddy.com. This is back in 2012 when the game released.
Isn't she still a spokesperson
I
for
think
GoDaddy.com?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I don't remember if there was a commercial in the last Super Bowl. That's like the only
But
time you ever see him
anyway,
anymore.
she actually had her likeness inside of Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, and she's an unlockable character. And while you're racing as her and stuff, she's in her like a stock car, sort of like kind of like one of those Indy cars type of dealies and stuff, to where it's kind of hilarious because like at one point she's like driving or something like that, but if you cross like the finish line or boost or something like that, she actually gets out of her car and just starts laying like a cross or something like that in the back, like a tail flap. Like, what the hell? That's kind of weird. It's like provocative sort of shit. But it has clips of her voice and stuff like that, like, hey, let's go, do this, blah, blah, blah. And I got to admit, man, it's like, I've played a bunch of games where, like, product placement and everything else, and, like, weird celebrity appearances inside games. I mean, hell, SmackDown 2 Know Your Role with Limp Bizkit.
You'd be, Bill Clinton in NBA Jam?
Yeah, that
I
too.
heard about that.
Wasn't he also in that Ready to Rumble, the boxing game?
No, that was Michael
Maybe,
Jackson,
I
I
don't know.
think.
Was it Michael Jackson? That's okay. Huh.
Yeah, because Michael Jackson was in, like, Ready to Rumble boxing round 2 and stuff, and, like... It's just one of those celebrity appearances that you hardly ever see anymore in video games, where it's like you have a hidden celebrity or something as a secret character, and then you like you get to use them and just do all this crazy ass like type of stuff. But in this game, it's like it's really more apparent and stuff that this was like it's weird for the sake of being weird, and considering this is like Sonic Team and stuff, and they are pretty much known for having these kind of weird, wacky sort of like sound effects and stuff like that. It's very funny just playing as Danica Patrick, going through like all these whimsical courses and stuff, like say Sonic the Hedgehog and like like Beady Joe or something from Crazy Taxi, and like the freaking monkeys from Super Monkey Ball and stuff like that, all that stuff.
Are they in the actual ball?
No, they're not in the actual ball. I think they have themed like a ball or something while they're driving, both of those monkeys and stuff. And of course, one of your favorite characters from Skylanders Arcadia is inside those, so it's like...
I take back everything I said about this game. This game might be amazing.
Dude, it actually has the choruses and stuff. It actually has a themed chorus from Skies of Arcadia, which is fun.
I gotta go change my pants.
But
now he needs that mirror mode.
You don't want me
so
to
other than
that.
the Grand Prix and stuff, I went through some of the career mode things where it's placed to where you go through medals like C, B, and A rank and stuff like that. Obviously, the A being the highest and stuff. And you can do various things like, if you collect a bunch of the stars from completing these courses, like say races or versus matches or even like drifting and stuff, so many stars that you collect and stuff through completing these courses are used to unlock different cups and like different types of characters. I've just unlocked 2, like Danica Patrick's and like Sama de Amigo. That's about it. So, other than that though, I've played random stuff on my 3DS. Tried playing a little bit more Mario Land 3 because that's a classic, and I love like the wackiness inside there. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Nice.
Very cool.
Cool.
Well, moving on to some of the news. Some stuff has come out this week. Actually, it's pretty exciting stuff for February as far as news goes. Potentially exciting things. First up, so some little things coming out more and more. We're learning about the Switch and what's going on with it. And an interview and like it seems like 1,000 interviews that are coming out a day about Nintendo that they're doing anyways. They mentioned, this is a Japanese one, they mentioned in yen what they think the Nintendo Online would be for the Switch, and an American, it would be in U.S. dollars. It would be between $17 and $26, so probably more like a year. So more like 20 or 25. I'm thinking, 20 or 30 maybe. And there's also going to be a monthly subscription that you can do. To me, real quick, I think that is not a bad price point. That was if this thing came out $60, that'd be a hell no for me. A year.
At least now, not knowing
what it is, but
things, yeah.
the knowing what we know about the whole app phone thing, that's just like a turn off, and the fact that I don't know how many of my friends are going to have this thing. So me paying $60 a year for PS4 and all that stuff is great because I have plenty of friends to play with online. But yeah, I don't know. I think that is $20, $30, preferably 20, obviously. But I think that is that's I'm not gonna miss $20 over the course of the year for something, especially if there's plenty of online supported games for this. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think it's reasonable. Especially, I guess this kind of also makes some of the other news surrounding the online Nintendo service kind of more palatable. Specifically, the rumor that they're going to give you access to a 1 or 2 virtual console games a month, but then at the end of the month you lose access to those games, so you literally only have access to those games for the month. Yeah. That kind of makes that more palatable, like if it's 25, $30 for the year, I'm not going to feel slighted that I don't get to keep those games, It's like, okay, that's it's kind of an added benefit. So yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable to me. I mean, and then there's the chance that, I mean, I may or may not find a use for the online functionality, because I mean, depending on how many people I know that own a Switch, like it just may be something that I forego, just playing single player games and whatnot. So we'll see how it works out. But the price point, I think, is just about right for what it's supposed to be, and yeah, I mean, it seems okay to me.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Well, you know what though, I kind of feel like the price point is it's a really good price point. I mean, let's look at the stuff where we know already and stuff. I mean, we know it's going to be a full year, possibly about like maybe $20, $30 or something like that for the most of the experience. I know most of the experience is like online stuff, a couple of VC games. We don't know a lot about the eShop structure or how that's going to play out and stuff yet. But at the same point, I look at that offer and stuff, and I see the offerings, both what Sony and Microsoft has for their year stuff. I mean, you look at the things that you're paying for, say, PlayStation Plus and stuff and Xbox Live, where not only are you playing online, but you're getting discounts on the store, and also you're getting free games each month and stuff. Whereas those are like $50, $60 and stuff like that. But for Nintendo doing the Switch and their eShop type of like service, their costs and stuff, maybe like $20, $30 a year for what? Like just the online stuff and what features it has. I think that's very reasonable, and I also believe that's actually a very good advantage that they have going forward, because it's like you get the experience where you pay so much a year. I mean, $20 to $30 a year is chump change in comparison to what other subscription costs are. So that is
I feel like if you're going to be upset about $20, yeah.
That's just a thing. If true and stuff like that, and it's of the cost, that's a great thing. That's more incentive of somebody to pick up a Switch, try out the online stuff for, say, Splatoon 2 or Mario Kart 8, and it's like, man, that's even more attractive than ever.
Yeah. What about you,
Good
Joseph?
times.
Oh, sorry. I think the price is awesome. I can't wait to actually find out more about what it's going to include in the more specific things about it. There's lots of rumors that the controllers have headsets that are going to be made for them. Then I hear that there's no headphone jack on them.
The Pro Controller doesn't.
Then that makes me think maybe they went to the app, because how else could you do it? There's no headphone jack on it if you're just sitting at home, actually. I actually read an interesting article about that. That's actually maybe more for at-home use in the beginning of their design choice, using the app. But it's I need no more information. It's too early for me to judge it. But from what I know now, it's a good price. I'll be probably getting online, even if I don't have many people that I play online with. I never played once online with. Actually, I played once like with Mario Kart 8, and I played a lot of Splatoon, but usually it was against Japanese people I don't know, and it was really fun.
They're
so
too fucking good.
and I actually, I come up on top sometimes. Sometimes they'd whoop me. It was actually really awesome.
Yeah.
I had a really great experience, and it was free. You know, people want more from online stuff, but I'm totally fine with the free online that the Wii U had. But if you could pay for something and get like voice chat included if you wanted to, I think that's great. I think that online play for certain things should be free on PS4 and Xbox One, but it's moving past that, and I understand that stuff. But that's just like everyone wishes it was free.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
But yeah, very curious to see what happens. I bet it's going to continually get updated, especially from feedback during that like trial period.
Yeah.
I bet that will actually help sculpt at least some less major things about it. Very curious to see what happens during that time. And I think it's pretty cool if you buy it, then you get at least trial of whatever that trial is. Maybe it's not even
months,
full thing,
yeah.
But I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, and I mean another thing positive for this is that it really throughout the next few months or so, it really all it's going to be doing is adding features to this. It's like right now we have a general idea what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
We know we're going to be able to play games online, and we get a free basically a rental of a game for a month, an old game. There's only going to be more features probably. If it was just this, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But there's probably going to be other things added down the line. So
Yeah.
it can probably only get better.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. One more thing I forgot to add to this is I think kind of correlates to this online topic right now. I am actually very sad that Miiverse is disappearing.
That's one of
my favorite. But
pisses me off.
But maybe Miiverse is disappearing. Maybe something else that they haven't talked about yet will replace it. I hope so.
From what I've been reading
I
and
love
stuff,
Miiverse.
Especially
from what I've
with
been reading, I'm sorry, Tyler. Go on ahead.
I would say, especially with like using the phone app thing, that sounds like the perfect fucking thing for like to have, like with it being a mobile thing and also having a phone app for this console.
Yeah.
Like the Miiverse, like it's like this is the perfect Miiverse is perfect for that.
I really love
That was
Miiverse.
probably the coolest thing outside of the games. That was my favorite thing about the Wii U.
I probably agree with you. I really liked it. It's
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, a little work to it. I think it
I like
could be a little snappier, a little more. But I think
Oh yeah,
overall,
but that's the whole OS of that system could be.
yeah,
But
definitely.
beyond that, though, I liked it a lot.
Yeah, definitely. But moving on. Stick with Nintendo. Project Giant Robot, which was a kind of a pretty big thing that was it Miyamoto that was doing like a bulk coverage talking about this.
Couple E3s ago.
Yeah, like 2015, 2014 or 15.
You showed next
Yeah,
to
I think it's 2014.
Yeah.
that's right. Next to Project Guard, which became a little side game in like Star Fox Zero.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know. Go ahead.
It got canceled.
No.
They officially announced it's been canceled, which I guess I completely forgot. I mean, actually, it was like 6 months ago. I was like, what about that project,
Giant
Robot? And then that's like the one time I thought about it since then. So,
Yeah.
not too surprised. I guess it got canceled, but I'm just kind of surprised they even mention the fact that it got canceled.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I've actually forgot about that?
No.
Is it even worse that I don't even really know much about the game? I just now
No.
looked it up, but outside of that, I don't remember it.
I would.
No.
It's
been so long.
I didn't think about it very often. Yeah, it has. I haven't thought about it very often, but it was kind of always in the back of my mind. And they kept on putting it on their financial,
Oh yeah,
quarterly financial things, unannounced. It's like it's still coming.
yeah.
But I figured, okay, it's not going to be a Wii U game, probably a Switch game eventually. And it looks like kind of like ARMS, where it's at first glance, it's very simple looking. But for me, intriguing, and looks like there's actually could have been quite a bit of depth to this game. I don't think the ideas of this game will disappear.
Yeah.
I think this game will, but I think eventually, stuff that was in this game and gameplay that came from the idea will eventually find its way into something.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's cool, and that happens a lot. All the times you always hear stories about how this was supposed to happen 3 Zeldas ago, and then they finally put it in this one because they could or they wanted to, and the time was right. So yeah, it kind of sucks, but not really. I mean, we saw one little
Tech demo.
15-minute demo thing of it. It looked interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
And Nintendo's well known for reusing assets. For all we know, we've already played games of theirs that have it in there, or we're going to. Like you said, ARMS. This could have just been. They might have been making this game and like they made ARMS out of it, or took all assets. So.
Could be where it was born.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. I didn't think about it that way. But moving on from some non-Nintendo stuff, Sony kind of released some things. They're coming out with the PS4, PlayStation 4 update 4.5. I don't think they have a timetable when it's coming. I think they just said soon. It's people are in the beta right now for it. But kind of a few cool things coming out for it. First off, you're going to be able to use an external hard drive.
Finally.
Up to 8 terabytes. That's a solid amount, especially if you're a digital only person. You're going to be able to use custom wallpapers, so you can actually use screenshots you've taken in your game, and you can make it your background, and you can make some changes to the color and the lighting and stuff like that.
That's cool.
You can post so that like the activity feed they have, you can actually like post directly into it. Sounds more like a Twitter or Facebook kind of thing, which is kind of cool. I like that idea. I like that like Xbox One and PS4 both have it. And I don't feel like they use it. I like where it's like it's right there on your homepage. You can see it, but I don't really feel like they really made any use of it.
Yeah, I was always surprised. Like it didn't seem as cool to me as like Miiverse, even though it was like buried.
Yeah,
but this could be kind of something like that.
When you turn your PS4 on, like that's like the activity feed is where it takes you. That's where you start at. Yeah, and it just seems like it never got used. So this could be a cool thing for it. You can if you own a PSVR, you can watch 3D Blu-rays in it.
I wonder how that's gonna work.
It's supposed to be stereo. Stop.
Seriously, like 3D in there?
Yeah.
No, well, it's probably going to be like a screen. So it's almost like you're sitting in a movie theater, I imagine.
Yeah.
And so it'd be like watching a 3D movie.
It will work.
I imagine that's how it would be.
That's really cool. I didn't know.
I thought it already
did
did play 3D Blu-rays.
It plays 3D Blu-rays, but they're talking about it in PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like being able to watch them with the VR headset
without
on.
having it, obviously.
Oh, that's cool.
Special glasses in there, maybe.
Good news is
Probably.
you can watch the last 3 Resident Evil movies finally, Justin, in 3D. If you want to.
I forgot about those. Those don't exist.
Do you own any 3D Blu-rays?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Because I actually would like to look forward to hearing how that works out.
Well,
I do own 3D
I
Blu-rays, but I
probably
don't have a
will
PlayStation
purchase
VR.
one just to do this.
They're
But
pretty expensive.
you have to have a special Blu-ray player, don't you? No, wait.
It's gonna be the PlayStation 4.
PS4.
No, the
can.
PlayStation 4 plays
Yeah.
3D Blu-rays. You just have to have a TV that's a 3D TV.
Cool.
Normally.
Sweet.
They're like $40 pop though, I guess, some of those movies. So
I will get one, but it's going to be a movie that I love. I had to find one.
Resident Evil Retribution.
No.
I've got Pacific Rim. I've
There you
got
go.
Top Gun. I've got
Top Gun. I've
just
never
picked
seen
up
it.
the Avengers: Age of Ultron in 3D.
Wow.
So the thing about 3D Blu-rays is there weren't a whole lot of people who jumped onto the 3D craze. So a lot of times you can find them for pretty cheap. I think by default they're more expensive,
Yeah.
but I think you can find deals pretty often for them.
I will definitely pick one up. I'll let you know.
Pacific Rim is a really nice looking movie on
Is
Blu-ray.
it?
I watched
Yeah,
it.
I
never
like
seen it.
Pacific Rim a lot.
And I think 3D that'd be kind of cool actually.
What about Jaws? Jaws 3, but that's probably not 3D.
Jaws 3D and would be
I
actually
like to see the
pretty sweet.
first Jaws in 3D.
You can watch 3D Blu-ray of Jaws 3D. I'd be okay with that. And last, this it wasn't in the official statement from Sony, but this is kind of a thing that's been going around, that there's going to be a boost mode that you could turn on for people that have a PS4 Pro. So games that didn't actually have like an update or don't actually use the power of the Pro, you can actually turn this option on and it will still kind of up-res some of the games.
Oh, it
Make
does
them
that?
look easier,
I know,
yeah.
it definitely made them snappier and stuff.
Yeah, so I noticed like a small difference in some of those games already, but if I can make some better, even cool. It wasn't. It might not be like an official in this update thing. It might be something down the line, or who knows what's going on with it. Now, there's really not a lot on it other than it's an option, and people in the beta are being able to use it.
Nice.
So yeah, I think overall pretty cool update. I think the external hard drive thing, I don't know why. I think a lot of us are like, why wasn't it there in the beginning?
Well, yeah. I mean, no shit.
I'm
For
very
God's sakes,
surprised about that.
it's like the Xbox One had access to doing external hard drive stuff like pretty early on. That you had the Wii U pretty much could do it from launch and stuff if you had the right type of like USB setup and stuff where you had two like the little Y cable stuff where you hooked it into a little dongle thing for an adapter, then plugged it into the back of your Wii U for like the two USB ports to power the external hard drive. But here for this like 4.5 something update for the PS4, it's like you can pretty much use any type. Well, actually, like just most of like USB 3.0 sort of external hard drives, if you wish. Like Tyler, like you were saying, like up to like 8 terabytes and stuff. Which, hey, that's awesome. That's insane that it supports up to that high. And it's really making me think, oh, okay, maybe I should just get myself another external hard drive. That actually does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
But another thing I like about this update and stuff is the ability to just snap shots and then just use them as my little XMB type of image or something like that on my little bar for the PS4. Because it's sort of similar to how like you could do with the Vita and stuff, where if you can go on to the little web browser, save some images, use that as your little background, like sort of picture or something for the thing if you knew how to set it up. That's how I generally did things right there, and it sounds like I could do some, like, say, go to, like, play some Final Fantasy 15, maybe do some snapshots or use some of the photos there, just set up as, like, my little desktop things for some. I kind of like that little feature right there.
Yeah, pretty cool thing. I got a few cool
extra.
Yeah, I got a few cool pictures of Trika I took while playing Last Guardian, so I'm gonna do some work.
So
on
the
that.
external hard drive thing is cool and all, like, and actually, I mean, I guess the fact that it goes up to 8 terabytes is probably the bigger deal in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because the PlayStation 4, you can swap the hard drive internally. So what I did was I bought two 2 terabyte external hard drives, and then I just busted one of the cases open, pulled the hard drive out of it, and popped it into my PS4.
There you go.
So I have a 2 terabyte external hard drive on my Xbox One, and then I just use that 2 terabyte hard drive and put it inside of my PS4. So both my PS4 and my Xbox One have 2 terabytes. So yeah, I mean, I can kind of see people's, excitement with this whole, external hard drive thing, but at the same time, the PS4 was the one that allowed you to swap the internal hard drive, so it wasn't as big a deal that it didn't give you access to an external hard drive.
I'm just too scared to open it up, so I don't want to.
It's like dead easy
to do that, though.
Yeah, the console's basically built to be able to do it. Like, I mean, it's there. You just snap off the little cover, and like there's a little tray, one screw, and the tray slides out. Slide the new one in.
Yeah,
it couldn't be easier.
Too much stress. I don't know if I can handle it. I just
it's
start
really
crying.
not that bad. As a matter of fact,
blue
you can
wire,
just slide
get
off
the
your
red
own
wire.
PS4 right now.
Yeah, that was cool.
Well, now you don't have to worry about it. Now you just have to plug in a USB cord, and you don't have to worry about it.
I got like the 1 terabyte, and I got pretty much all the games I own on it installed on there, and I still got a couple hundred gigabytes left. So
Nice.
not too worried. But that's the cool thing. I didn't think about that. Like if you have a 2 terabyte in there already, and then you get an 8 terabyte external, you can have 10 terabytes. Like you're
10
golden.
terabytes. I wonder if there's even 10 terabytes worth of games for the PlayStation 4.
There's so many fucking games, like probably 100 megabyte games that are on there. You probably add it up quickly.
Yeah.
Here's a little fun fact. For my Wii U and stuff, for the external hard drive, it's only like 500 gigabytes, and I've made it last for the entirety of the fucking time I've owned it. From launch.
There you go. Just like balancing games, like back and forth.
I didn't even have to delete anything off of it either. It's just
I've been deleting shit off of it since like 2000, like early 2014.
I took the 500 gig hard drive that was in my PS4 and put it in one of my PS3s, and then it died. That hard drive just kicked the bucket, which is kind of scary considering it was
very scary.
inside of my PlayStation 4, like not months before that. So that was pretty crazy. The 2 terabytes still kicking good in my PS4 though.
That's what's scary about those things, man.
Luckily, thank God we have the cloud.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually in my second PS3, which is currently, it just sits in my bedroom, and it's what we watch Netflix and Blu-rays and stuff on. So I haven't actually ever played any games on it. So it wouldn't have been a huge loss. Like I didn't have a lot of save data on it. My original PS3 Fat that's sitting down here next to my feet, though, it has a 500 gigabyte hard drive in it. And if that one were to go out, I'd lose all of the games and saves and everything that I've got on it.
Yeah.
Are you able to? Can you put that in the cloud with at all? Save some of those?
Yeah, I mean, you can do save files and stuff in the cloud for sure, like that. I'm not very diligent about doing that, especially because if you have 2 PlayStation 3s, you can set one of them up to automatically like upload things to the cloud and keep everything up to date up there. And having 2 of them, like you have to kind of decide which one. I guess since I only have one that I game with, that's kind of a no-brainer. But yeah, it's just one of those things.
Okay. Well then, that's cool.
Yeah.
I have mine on it, like my PS4. I'm actually set up for my cloud because I have too many hours of Madden in there. I wouldn't want to lose. A couple hundred hours, so I would literally destroy everything I own. Not literally. In my mind, I would. I feel a little better after that.
You gotta have Aaron Rodgers
That
win the
would
Super
suck.
Bowl for the 50th time in a row.
Hey, I've only beat like I've only played like 7 seasons of Madden this year. Okay? It's pretty good for me. Next up, actually, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Like, this is like EA's talking about this thing for a long time now. It's funnily, even while they're still working on Star Wars Battlefront 1. But they announced that there will be officially announced there will be a single player campaign, and there'll be they'll be using content from the new movies
And old ones, I think.
and old ones. Yeah, it sounds some things I was hearing. It sounds like the campaign might like take you different places throughout the series of the movies.
Maybe like Battlefield 1, where like you kind of jump from person to
Oh
person.
yeah, I don't know if I like that. I think I'd rather have like I almost think I'd rather have, but I guess with it's Star Wars though, so maybe it's kind of cool.
I wouldn't mind it.
I don't know, but that was my biggest gripe about the first Battlefront game was that I want to play like a single player, great single player Star Wars game. So I haven't played one
And
since.
have the stuff on the side, online,
Yeah, I can take it or leave it. Yeah, but no, I mean, if it's I mean, the Battlefront Online was fine. It's just not what I want from a Battlefront game. But no,
I think that falls a lot in line with like Titanfall. Like the first Titanfall was only online,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think they kind of learned their lesson from that, and that's why we ended up with a single player campaign, which by all reports is a pretty great single player campaign. I haven't played it yet. I have intentions to. So I think EA's just kind of learned, like they thought they could get away with, doing we'll just give you only online content because that's what everybody seems to play. But I think they got quite a bit of backlash and kind of learned that people do really want a decent single player campaign in their games.
Especially if there isn't another Star Wars game that has it. I think that's even the bigger thing to me than it not having it. And also, as an online game only, Battlefront was not that great, like content wise.
yeah, they admitted
It wasn't just the fact that they didn't have campaign.
Yeah, and they admitted that they rushed that game out, and the reason why it was in the form it was is because of the movie coming out.
Like, yeah, I'm all for this, like an online only game, but you gotta have other Star Wars games too. I want a Rogue Squadron game too, so bad.
Yeah,
I want to have,
And
if you gotta separate them to make them better, that's fine.
they said that they're planning on for the next 4 years releasing one Star Wars game a year. So I think that I assume Battlefront 2 will be the game that comes out later this year, probably the fall game this year, and then Visceral I think is what it is working on
The
one.
Amy Hennig game.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. It sounds like it's an Uncharted type game. And then the people that made Respawn, that people make Titanfall 2, my number 2 game of the year, by the way, for 2016, is working on. So they're working on one, and that game will probably see the light of day in like 2018 or 19. So yeah,
Nice.
I don't know. I hope. I like the start, like kind of those shooter, like Battlefield, Call of Duty-esque campaigns. So if we got Star Wars one like that, I think it'd be kind of cool if they. The only thing I could think of with Star Wars and they do like the jump around stuff is if it's like kind of like Lion King 1.5. Where like I don't know if I want to necessarily play as the main characters, but I think it'd be kind of cool to play as like side characters,
Like a little robot going down like the hallway.
Yeah, like but you're there, like
I can't control.
yeah,
myself.
like the battle on Dagobah or on Hoth, like you're in that battle. And like you're down there in the bunker when all the shit goes wild, and you're seeing Princess Leia and Han Solo fighting and arguing with each other. Like I want like that'd be, if you're just like a guy in that room.
Would you want to be a Jawa, picking up C-3PO and stuff out of the desert? Or would that probably not be very fun?
Or the Krayt Dragon.
The Krayt Dragon. There you go. I want to be the Krayt Dragon. I want the story behind the Krayt
Just
Dragon.
all these like
What?
crazy mundane characters that don't
yeah.
actually do anything, but you're just like an innocent bystander watching all the awesome shit happening in
Oh
the
my
movies.
god, that'd be so funny. Like the Ron Cor's day off, he's just sitting inside of his cage, just moping to himself or something like that, watching as another victim just falls down the pit.
I want to know what happens to that robot at the beginning of New Hope that breaks, so they end up getting R2D2. I want to know what happens to that guy afterwards.
I mean, it's a sweet side story.
It's probably not a very long
Right,
one.
ends with him getting smashed and
Yeah.
sold for scrap.
There we go. Yeah,
Well, does Jabba the Hutt go to the bathroom? Where does he go?
that's a good
That's the
point.
shit that I want to know.
That is a good point. I want to know what Boba Fett's doing down in the pit.
Does he ever take a bath?
Yeah, like can you take a bath?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stories you can tell in the Star Wars world. It doesn't necessarily have to be an action game. Telltale can make probably some good ones with that. I'd be cool with that, actually. Now I think about it. Yeah, no, but that's Oh, I meant to put this in the show notes, and I'm kind of curious if you guys have you guys read the thing about the GameStop Circle of Life program?
No,
Yes.
I'd like to hear about it.
Yeah.
I just saw like headlines, but I never read anything about it.
All right, so
Yeah.
Sounds like something from Lion King.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that was good.
Okay.
Now Elton John didn't write the article. No, Troy, did you want to say something?
No, yeah, no. I mean, I've heard of this, and I was talking to my wife actually about it. It's pretty crazy.
It is really crazy.
You got the details?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I read the article and I've kind of memorized a lot of it. But basically, so what's going on is it's a new program they kind of bumped that the head corporate people of GameStop have enforced for the employees. It started like late 2016, where this new thing they're doing where like each store has goals and they have to sell a certain percentage of each thing, like new games, pre-orders, the pro memberships, selling used games, trading in games, and it's like all broken up, and it's like you have to sell 15% of your sales have to be new games, and 30% of your sales have to be pre-orders or anything like that. And like every store is different, and then also with that, every employee has their own goals they got to do every month. Or I don't know if I can't remember if it was weekly or monthly or how it worked out, but basically there are. It's kind of a lot of GameStop employees are pretty upset about it and they're screwing over a lot of them. And there's some interesting stories actually with it where like say you're an employee there and you have to do 30% of your sales this month have to be selling pre-owned games,
Mm-hmm.
and then 20% of your sales have to be selling pre-ordered games. So say you work a midnight sale for like a Call of Duty,
Yeah.
and you say you do 1,000 sales that month, and Call of Duty's biggest game of the year, and 100 people show up, and you do 100 transactions, 10% right there of your whole monthly sales just with the pre-orders. So you can screw yourself for the entire month. And so what's actually doing is it's causing a lot of employees and managers there to like lie and say, oh, we don't have this, like we don't have the new copy of Resident Evil 7 in stock, but we have the used one.
Oh
we
my
don't have,
gosh.
we don't have any used, but we do have a new one. Or they're like doing like kind of shady shit to
I
like
knew that place's tactics were kind of gross sometimes, but that sounds
yeah, and
fucking bad.
The even more egregious one was like the instance of like when a new game has gone on sale. So like Watch Dogs 2 was on sale for $30.
Yeah.
And so anybody who came in looking for Watch Dogs 2, they'd be like, no, we don't have a new copy of that. We do have it used for $50 if you want, but we don't have the new copy.
Yep.
And just basically brushing customers out the door.
Oh,
yeah, and they're actually
That's pretty shady.
it's shady, and it shows you that that's what they feel like they have to do to even exist anymore.
yeah, and
You know?
it felt and like GameStop even kind of came out and had like a whole corporate thing. They said not even denying it, just saying they're trying to do give the best value to the customers and shit, and it's just that.
Oh, that is really backhanded as a compliment right there.
Yeah, and it's just, I have been a GameStop defender for a long time. I've been a pro member of theirs for almost a decade now. I buy majority of my games through them. I love trading. Not love, but I trade in my games all the time. I keep very few of them. I got like 5 sitting there, actual physical copies of games I own, and yeah, it's just kind of tough. It's like reading that, and it's like I don't blame the employees. I feel bad because I don't want what people say I'm never going to GameStop again, and I'm not going to sit there and say I'm never going to GameStop again.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm done buying. Like I'm going to continue trading and getting my games there, but as far as like I don't feel like I really want to support them much more than that. So I'll trade my games in, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it because it's like I don't want to support these guys, but
You don't want to see them disappear.
Yeah, but I don't want to see them disappear because there is a need for me, and they're
important.
kind of the one show in town I have to go to.
They're the only
I
gigantic game.
can understand where you're coming from there,
store.
Tyler. I mean, for one, it's like, I know that for a fact that when you go inside of a GameStop store, I mean, a lot of us, most of us pretty much have gone into a GameStop store going through. You know for a fact that a lot of the used game sales do go directly to that particular store, to the employees and stuff like that. But we've all heard some little bits of like hearsay or whatsoever, even little bits of rumors or facts from like actual GameStop employees, like former ones or something, saying things like about how they do their businesses, how like the managerial stuff is this way or that way and stuff. And what plays into a lot of the stuff that's going on too is just all this like it's not really much of like a rumor or something like that, but this what did originate a lot of this from Reddit and stuff as well.
Yeah.
I think like a lot of the little like GameStop employees just like talking about it on a Reddit like AMA or something like that, where it's like they were just viewed like this talk about a lot of their grievances and this stuff, because quintessentially the company in and of itself is doing something incredibly shitty that they feel like the need that they can't really talk or like express it themselves or something like with actual, you know, inside the contents of the store, which they probably have in some bits and forms, but the fact that the company in and of itself, GameStop, is going to be losing customers just because of these type of tactics, it's really anti-consumerism too, because at the end of the day, it's like they get these sales, but they want to enforce their employees to sell the used copies, get the pre-order orders stuff in and stuff. But that's just the thing. The problem I have with like a bunch of the pre-owned stuff is you see side by side like a game that's on sale or a game that you know that's initially brand new that is maybe $20-$30 cheaper than what the pre-owned copy is. And if I'm going into a store and I'm now having second thoughts, if I'm going inside the store, I'm shopping for something, and I know for a fact after hearing something like this going around the internet or something like that, actually hearing it from friends or whatsoever about how there are games or something like that that are new, that are less cost and stuff, but they're not there or something like that because of what the employees have either hid behind the counter or something like that and not even tell you like what that is, it's going to make me less than likely to go back and visit the store. I mean, because for one, it's like, why would you visit a store or a business in general where they're constantly like doing underhand, like just doing that sort of tactic, like that type of business tactic where
and if they tell you they don't have something, maybe
Can't
like
trust them.
yeah, it's like, oh, we don't actually have this copy. It's like, do you really not have this copy? And it sucks. Like for me, that I go there fairly frequently, and it's just, it's like I went to high school with one of the guys worked there. You know, it's like I bullshit with those guys a lot when I go up there. They don't like know.
Yeah, the people are cool.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, yeah, we got a new new manager there, and he's kind of a douchebag. But you know, when I go up there, it's like for the most part, it's almost always been a positive experience for me, and it just kind of sucks now that like, can I trust these guys? Like that this thing like that I want is actually there or not? Like whenever every time I go to like buy a game, like if I don't pre-order a game the day it comes out, and like I go up there and just buy it the day of, it's like, oh, luckily we only had one copy left. I'm like, do you really only have one copy left? Yeah. Or like
the thing
you have
about
1,000 back there, you know?
And like you were saying, Gables.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Like most employees don't probably want to do this.
No.
But it's like, well, you either do this or you're gonna lose your job.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's why I feel sorry for them.
Yeah. They're the ones that get the shit of it all.
Yeah, they're gonna be take the blow of the punishment for this.
Yep.
It's like sort of a weird thing right now. It's like
uninformed customer.
On one hand, the GameStop that I have, you know, it's the only one in my area, right? And that's the only place where I can actually go and find games that I actually could like in a brick and mortar type of setting without having to resort to go to online stuff. But on the other hand, with all these rampant rumors and all these rampant things from actual GameStop employees saying all these corporate bullshit things coming down to where it may affect me wanting to go inside and actually do business with them, it's like, it's either that or stick with like going to a Walmart or like go online and stuff like that to do on Amazon. It's like,
yeah, it
doesn't really give me too much choice and stuff. It's like that middle ground and stuff where I can do this or I can do that. It's a bad place.
And another thing I just thought of is like, if I go there and buy a game, it's like I was just saying, like I feel kind of bad. I feel bad for the employees, like Justin was saying, and it's just like when I go up there and buy a copy of the game, I'm gonna be like sitting there like kind of like worried now. I'm like, am I fucking this guy by buying this game? Like, does he need more used sales? And me buying this pre-order game,
Yeah.
and like, am I hurting this guy?
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
should
that's-
not be a thought of a customer
Yeah.
going into your store.
Like, am I affecting this guy's livelihood by buying this game?
yeah.
Like that's an added thing. That's just
The second you walked out the door, he was handed his pink slip.
Yeah. Like, you sell
that
that.
was it. That was your
You
last
sell that
chance.
man
Like,
his copy. You're screwed.
His manager's like, was that copy new or used? He's all,
Get the
new.
fuck out.
You're fired.
Yeah.
I sold him a copy new of Resident Evil 6. Oh
I
my
opened a
God.
new one and
Yeah.
sold it used. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. It's just that's just it just shows you that, I mean, it almost, I don't even know if it's like, is it desperation? Because I don't really feel it doesn't feel
it
like
has
it
to
is,
be.
because it's
I
not like
think
they're,
they're clawing to survive.
but what are they?
It's like a
They're not like forcing people to buy, because they make the part, most of their money they make off used games, used sales.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
what-
absolutely,
which is what
yeah.
they want you to get.
That and
But-
pre-owned. That and
Yeah.
pre-order sales.
Yeah, but it's like
That's
they're
the
not
number
really
one thing.
forcing. They're enforcing a little bit of everything, though. That's what's weird to me. It's like,
yeah, but it sounds like their most important thing is pre-orders, which gets you to, the habit of going to that store,
yeah,
and also used sales, which is, like you said, is their biggest thing.
yeah. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know if they like pushing used sales. Justin and I, we both worked at a GameStop like store before. It's regional. It's in Iowa, Nebraska.
I really like this store.
I
It's one of my
refuse to go
favorites.
there. I boycotted that store
It's
because
my favorite.
not because of the people. Well, not because of the store itself, but just because of the vice president's the giant douchebag.
Yes, that's true.
So I don't go there anymore. But like, we worked there, and like, they always stress, push used sales, and like, they had a pretty good. I thought they always had a pretty fair value with like trading in
Very
games,
fair.
and they gave you a lot more credit, and their used games are a lot cheaper. So pushing that wasn't very hard, and I understand, like, it was not only was it a benefit to the customer,
Yep.
it,
for a better deal for you.
it was a benefit for the company. You go to GameStop, it's like, here's a $60 game that just came out today. We'll give you. It's been out for 2 hours. Oh, you want to trade it in? Here's $27. I'm gonna put it on the shelf now for $55
Yeah.
used. $5 less than new. It's like, if you're pushing used sales, like, make it more valuable. Like,
Oh, of course.
I'll just pay $5 more to get the new copy.
Yeah, it's
At that
Or,
point,
like,
they're charging, like, they're giving you the same amount almost as like a pawn shop, or maybe even sometimes less.
yeah.
yeah.
It's just. I mean, I can understand, like I said, I don't have a problem in pushing it, but tweak your tactics, tweak your prices, because I think it's insane to.
Don't have people lie.
Yeah, and yeah,
if you're to the point where you have to have people lie, then you're doing something completely wrong, like
yeah.
you're saying, like with the pricing of the used stuff. I mean, that's the reason I don't get used stuff there.
I
mean, there's benefits, if you got the card and you're like getting points and stuff. I get
Yeah.
that, but like I don't go there enough now where that even relates to me.
I usually just go there
So-
and pick up pre-orders, but yeah,
I'll go straight to gamers.
yeah.
I think even
I'll
like the
find stuff
rumblings of all
rare,
this
too.
going on and stuff like that, especially I think it was like Kotaku or something like that started sharing like a bunch of this stuff from like the Reddit stuff, and now a whole bunch of people online know about it. And I think this is definitely going to affect the sales going forward here for GameStop a
and they
bit,
can't really
at
afford
least
it at
for a
this point.
time.
Yeah.
So I was actually thinking about this today because when I was doing my grocery shopping at Walmart, there's a GameStop across the street.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much it'll actually affect their overall sales. I feel like a lot of the people who typically shop at like a GameStop don't necessarily follow the inner workings of the video game
agree.
industry. So I think a lot of those people will never get wind of this, and that's just the way it is.
a good point.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I mean, the only people who are really gonna step up and do anything about it are the people like us. And I personally, I don't shop at GameStop very much at all. I'm strictly a price shopper, so I go wherever the deals are. It could be Amazon, it could be Best Buy, it could be GameStop. Sometimes sometimes they'll throw a game down for like $10, and I'll definitely go pick it up. But like I don't have any reason to specifically patronize GameStop outside of deals. So it's not going to change my shopping habits any. But even if it did, I'm just one person, and I think the vast majority of people who purchase video games, that they don't follow the inner workings of the video game industry like someone like you or I or any of us here on the show would do. So yeah, I don't
True.
know how much of an impact it'll actually have on them.
It's a valid point. I
Yeah.
agree. I think it will affect them, but like in a negative way, but maybe not like to an extent where it's even going to like be noticeable.
And there's some people that read something like that and they don't believe it too.
Yeah, sure.
They don't believe it's actually happening.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's always those people.
Yeah, fake
Well,
news.
there will always will be people that will just doubt like whatever and stuff. I mean, let's look at this as what this is right here. It's basically, it looks like a bunch of either current employees or something like that going on hearsay a bunch of like what an AMA, like sort of like a Reddit article, like a Reddit post or something has going on and stuff like that. And yeah, the reply from the GameStop Corporation in of itself is really not really helping matters as well. But at the same point, it's like, is this real? Is this fact? It's kind of like hard to say concrete if it's one side or the other too.
I think at this point it's I would say overwhelmingly it's fact at this point. The fact that GameStop hasn't denied it, and you got enough. I think there's enough people out there that are current and former employees.
Well, I think the thing about that is that it's not an official GameStop policy. Like GameStop corporate's not telling these guys that they need to do this, but they're creating an environment through their focus on this Circle of Life program that's basically telling their employees that, look, like if you want to continue to have a job here, this is what you need to do.
Right.
And so in their minds, it's like, well, I've got to do this because my job's at stake, you know? So it's not as if GameStop is like, hey, this is our new tactic, guys. This is how we're going to do it. And they're sitting around the boardroom, you know, coming up with this scheme. But by focusing a person's livelihood on their, you know, percentage of pre-owned games, of pre-orders and stuff like that, they're basically they're projecting to their employees that, look, you got to do what you've got to do to make these numbers work.
Yeah.
And that's how a program like this, you know, gets morphed into something that it is, where they're, you know, brushing people out the door when they have a game that's cheaper for a new copy than it is for the used copy. It's like, no, I'm sorry, we don't have that. You know, brush them out the door because, you know, we can't afford to take that hit by selling the new copy for cheaper than what we can sell our used copy for.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And I was just thinking about this actually for quite a few years back. I worked for like I was customer service kind of thing where I was actually a salesman, over the phone salesman, and like I worked for CenturyLink. And every month you had like 8 buckets you had to hit, and you had like, I think it was 7 or 8, and it was just like, you had to sell X amount, you had to average this much a day, this much money earned a day, you had to hit this much over the course of the month, and then you had to sell like 50, and it changed every month. It was like 15 long distance packages, like 12 phone packages, 6 direct TV packages, you know, then online, and then there's a couple other ones in there, and you had to hit, you couldn't just hit 5 out of 7. You had to hit every single one of them every month, and it was just like, if you missed 1 out of 6 or 7, and even if you like doubled the rest, you got hit for that. That you got a mark on you. That was the warning. And there was a written warning. You know, it's like
stress causing quota.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like, oh, I just missed this. Like now you're so focused on this that you're missing out on this. You know, like I think overall, I mean, just looking at it, it could cause people to maybe miss out on easy sales. Like it's like it might actually hurt them more. It's
Tunnel
like,
vision.
Yeah, it's like, this guy wants a PS4. I just talked this guy out buying a PS4 because if I sell this PS4, it's gonna hurt our numbers overall. You know, it's like that's a good chunk of money, or you know, I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think there's.
Well, if you look at like the Watch Dogs 2 thing, it's like, well, okay, Watch Dogs 2's on sale for $30, so I'm going to go into GameStop and say, hey, you got this? And they're like, no, I'm sorry, we don't have that. It's hidden behind the desk, but I'm not going to tell you that we don't have that. I can sell it to you used for $45, and I'm like, okay, no, I'll walk out, I'll go over to Best Buy and say, hey, look, do you have this on sale for $35? No, you don't. Well, guess what? GameStop does. They'll price match it. Now Best Buy got my money, and GameStop didn't get a dime from me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this just seems like this whole entire thing was poorly planned. Like maybe the idea of it in general, it sounds like, okay, well, this is what we want to do every month, but like the execution sounds like piss poor.
Yes.
Like it wasn't fully thought out.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird though, like creating a
Happens all the
subsidiary
time.
from this whole thing too, you know.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyways, I think that's going to be the show for the week. So I want to thank you guys for listening. If you want to hear more from us, we are on Facebook. It is Drunk Dash Nerds. We have a page and group, so like and join us on there. Interact with us a little bit. We like to talk to our fans, talk to our listeners. It's always fun to do. And also on Twitter, we are at Drunk Nerds Pod. Some fucker took Drunk Nerds after we switched accounts, switched names the first time. And on YouTube, we are Drunk Dash Nerds. The podcast goes up on there, so you might know that because you might be listening to us on there. So click the like button and subscribe. And if you prefer listening to us somewhere else, we're also on iTunes. So leave a 5-star review, and then maybe comment about it. Say some nice things. We appreciate it. I'll give you a Gables credit card number if you do. And also on Twitch, we are Drunk Nerds Podcast. I'm sorry. So like us on there, or follow us, or subscribe. What the fuck you do on Twitch? I can't remember. I can't remember what it is. I should
Subscribe.
really subscribe. Thank you. I look it up all the time, and I always forget when we do the podcast. So subscribe to us on there. I got my system set up with that account now, so I'll start to try to do, when I have time the game again. I will definitely be doing a lot of streaming on there. And I'm doing some. I want to get here soon, get some shit set up for my computer, so maybe I can actually have a camera on me and everything. Be a little more professional about it, you know.
GoPro.
Yeah, get GoPro. There we go. But yeah, thank you guys so much again for listening. I was your host. I was Tyler.
I was Justin.
I have been the Colonel Gables.
I'm still Troy.
That's good. We were concerned you were somebody else.
Well, everybody was somebody, and I'm still somebody.
That's good.
I'm still somebody.
I was still me.
That's up for debate, Justin.
That's true.
But anyways, we'll talk to you guys next week. Boys.
Peace out.
Ooh, hey, sorry. We should edit that out there.
Excuse me. You too many beers there. Anyways, we're on iTunes now, so go on there, check us out, and if you like us, leave us a review, and we'll even shout you out. And Jack will send you his credit card number.